Hey beautiful people, this is your girl T and I'm back to do the last video for the book we've been working in, which is Steampunk Darlings coloring book by Hannah Lynn. And we're going to go ahead and finish this one up by doing the background. So for today's video, I will be using some soft pastel in this blue color here. Unfortunately, the soft pastels don't have color names because I'm using the Royal Langnickel, the cheap version. I did a test page using the Faber-Castell ones, and they weren't blending too nice on the paper, so I'm trying the cheaper ones. You can get a set of 36 for $5, so I'm going to go with these. Then I'm going to probably do some light shading within the clouds just to give it some kind of dimension. Okay. I also will be using cotton ball and also a Derwent eraser to erase wherever I don't want the soft pastel. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, also, I will be using this little, like, I don't know if you want to call it pocket knife or whatever, just to scrape the soft pastel. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So the way that I do it is I basically just take the block, and let me zoom in for you guys. I take the block and I basically just scrape the blue wherever I kind of want the blue to be. Now you can do this heavy-handed by scraping a lot, or you can scrape just a little bit at a time. Trying to be careful because some of these lighter areas I don't want to have blue on it. Most of the times I would do this first, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to do the background, so I'm gonna try my hardest not to mess my picture up. But usually I do this part first, and then just erase, where the blue has gotten onto the other areas of the page. So now I'm gonna go on this side and add some as well. Trying to be careful not to get it on the color portion of the page. And now I'm going to go up here to the top and add some up here. Now you can use more than one color. You can mix different colors in with it. But for this video, I'm just going to use one color. Okay, next I'm going to take my cotton swab and I'm going to start working the pastel into the paper. And basically what I do is I kind of scoot it off of the part I don't want it. I don't want the pastel on, like the shavings. Kind of scoot them into the white area that I want with pastel on it. And for me, it doesn't have to be perfect, because the sky has variations of light, the light blues and the darker sections. So with this, you don't really have to be perfect. So I'm being careful not to get any of the blue on the face and arms. So that's why I'm using a smaller piece of cotton ball. Okay. I'm going to go on this side and work. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see. And the cool thing about the pastel is that you have so much on here that, sorry, you have so much on here that you don't really have to use a lot. So your blocks can actually last you quite a long time if you use them sparingly. Now I know I've seen some YouTubers actually shave their whole blocks into little containers so it's easier for them to access it. I don't do that, but you know, it's something you can do if you want to, you know, pre-shave them. Again, just working in a circular motion. I'm out of frame, sorry. Let's move this down so you guys can see. Zoom out just a little bit. All right, so that looks like a cloud under there, so I'm being careful not to add any on that section. Okay, so just adding this, going in a circular motion, just working the pastel into the paper. You don't have to press hard. You can use a light touch if you want. If you want to press hard, you can. That doesn't really matter. So then what I do is just go back over the areas with the circular motion, just filling in some spots maybe that I see that I might want it darker. I'm not sure how well this is turning up on the camera at this time. It's kind of light. It's not very dark. I don't want it too dark because again, I want her to kind of stand out here. All right, so once you're done with the pastel, you want to go clean your hands. So I'm going to go ahead and pause while I do that. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush here that you can use to like take off eraser shavings and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just brush that extra loose pastel that's on this, possibly on this page, right on off. Okay, again, this is it's an architectural brush, but I use it in for coloring and stuff, like coloring and erasing erasers. So I'm sorry for brushing off erasers. What am I talking about? But anyways, okay, so next thing I do is I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. Next thing that I do is I take the Derwent eraser. This is an electric one. You just press the button, but then I take this and I erase where the blue has gotten where I don't want it. And it erases pretty fast, so I'm going to just erase right up in this area. Same with here. Bring that back to a nice bright white. Being careful not to erase my colored pencil, the areas I colored in colored pencil. Okay, I'm going to do that for all of the clouds. Just erasing that. Now, if you don't have one of these erasers, I will put a link where you can actually purchase this specific one. There are tons of them out there, but this is the only one I've ever used, so I can't speak for any of the others. But any electric eraser is good. But I will put a link to this specific one. Okay, so I probably will add a little blue in there. So I'll go back and take my little cotton ball that already has some blue on it and just, you know, put some of that blue there and then go back over with my eraser where it, you know, overlapped into the cloud. Alright, so getting all this back to a nice white. Okay. Now I'm going to come on this side and do the same. Now, again, I'm no expert, y'all. I'm just doing this for fun, for hobby. If you have a better way to do the background, as far as with the pastels, please share that. Because I'm always wanting to learn new techniques and new ways to do things that might be a little easier, more efficient. But for now, this works for me until I learn something new. Alright, so then I'm going to take my handy dandy brush and I'm just going to brush that eraser off of the page. And now I have a nice clean page. And I'm going to zoom in so that you can see how it looks. Okay? So next, what I'm going to do is work on the clouds a little bit. So I'm going to use a light gray in the clouds. And this is going to be light gray number 564. And this is a Mitsubishi Uni pencil. So basically, I'm just going to go where the clouds kind of overlap. I'm just going to add a little bit, just a little touch of color in these areas. Just to give a little bit of dimension, if you want to call it that. Because it looks flat when you don't add colors to make it have dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on all the clouds. Now you don't have to use gray. You can use, you can use really any color. It just depends on what look you're going for your picture. So again, I'm working in circular motion, just kind of adding a little bit of color in these areas. Just kind of even it out a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna come over here next to the outfit. Do the same thing. Wherever I think it's the cloud is supposed to overlap a little bit, I'll add a little of this light gray. All right, now I'm going to move over to the other side and do the same. Now you want to be careful when you're working with soft pastels because it will rub off. I will show you what I use on my page once I'm done working with pastel. And that's even if I do it first. If I do the pastel first and then color the picture. There's a spray called Workable Fixative Spray. A lot of people also use hairspray. I've not used hairspray, but I won't use hairspray because, you know, hairspray's for hair. So I'd rather use art, you know, the products that are actually made for this, you know, for art. But I mean, if that's what you want to use, you can, but I do not believe you can use it. It's not going to be like a workable fixative. You can use it to seal your picture afterwards, but not to, you know, spray it and then color on top of it. I don't believe you can do that. If I'm wrong, please let me know. All right, so now I'm going to do these clouds here. Again, just adding a little gray to where I think it overlaps, where the cloud is kind of overlapping itself or overlapping another cloud. Or even next to an arm or something like that. Just give a little bit dimension there. All right, so now I'm gonna get up here. And I also see where I missed another spot with the blue. So I'm gonna take my cotton ball and just add blue right in there. You don't have to even shave anymore on, just add it right in there. Then get my eraser and erase right in that little section. Okay. All right. So now I can go ahead and shade in over here as well. Hope everyone's having a good week. I know there's supposed to be some huge polar blast going on. And I have a lot of people who are like gonna be in Chicago, who live in Chicago and you know, the Michigan area, who are going to be suffering through this cold blast. And I hope if that's where you are, that you're staying warm. Please be careful when you go outside, because the last I heard is that you can't even be outside that long before you could get frostbite, that's kind of scary. I'm originally from San Diego, so I didn't even know what frostbite was until I came to the East Coast and went to school in a place that actually got snow and stuff. So, and me not knowing, went and put on, it was cold one it was cold one weekend, and of course in college you're trying to be cute. And I put on some leather boots, and I didn't have on any like thick socks, because these boots are like slim fitting, and I didn't want my feet to be hurting in my boots with these thick socks. So I had on like these thin, like knee-high type of, you know, socks or whatever. And let me tell you, before the night was over and it was freezing cold, it was snowing and everything, we got back to the dorm, my toes were so cold. I didn't get frostbite, but my toes were purple, and oh my gosh, it was horrible. And my friends were laughing at me, and they said, "You should not ever do that." And mind you, they're from the north, and you know, Jersey and New York and Chicago. They're like, "You should not ever do that." I was like, I don't know anything about this dressing for this weather. Here I am from San Diego, California, beach town, and I'm in this place where it snows and I don't have the proper stuff. So of course I learned from that and started following their lead. Like, what are you wearing today? How many layers should I wear? I started asking a bunch of questions. So that's how I learned. how to dress for the weather. So for you all, please stay safe and warm. I'm in North Carolina right now, and we're supposed to get, we're not supposed to get any snow, but we're supposed to have a wintry mix in my area, and then black ice in the morning because the temperature is going to drop down to like 19 degrees, and it rained all night tonight, so we're going to have some black ice issues tomorrow. So y'all please be safe. I'm going to try my best to be safe as well. All right, so we're going to do some more shading under here, and we're about done with this. All right, so almost done. Now, like I stated, since I didn't get to do her whole outfit on video, I decided to do another picture, and I made a post in the community about 2 books I was thinking about working in. And right now, I haven't checked it today, but it's deadlocked 50-50. So it's like, you guys are going to make me choose the book. But I'll be more than happy to choose the book. I just thought I'd let you guys choose. So the next series of videos I'm going to be doing will be on those one of those books, but I will be using the Mitsubishi pencils again for that video. So just zooming out, and here we have our finished picture. And again, these are Mitsubishi pencils, Mitsubishi Uni pencils, and it's been great doing this picture, y'all. So until next time, take care.